Welcome back to Rare US Coins 1, the channel where we transform ordinary pocket change into hidden treasure and reveal the unbelievable stories behind America's most iconic coins. Today, get ready for one of the most exciting deep dives you will ever hear, because we are exploring the Liberty 1 cent 1975 D, a coin that so many people have handled, spent, and ignored without ever realizing that certain examples of this simple copper coin can be worth a staggering $779,356 in today's collector's market. Yes, $900,000 for a 1-cent coin minted nearly 50 years ago. And the story behind why this humble penny is so valuable, so desired, and so historically rich is even more fascinating than the price itself. The story of the 1975 D Liberty 1 cent begins at the Denver Mint, where billions of coins were moving through machines at incredible speed during the mid-1970s. America was recovering from economic turbulence, copper prices were fluctuating, and the mint was under immense pressure to strike massive quantities of coins to meet national demand. During 1975, the mint produced over 4.5 billion Lincoln cents, most of them meant to be circulated quickly, handled roughly, and worn down in the pockets of millions of Americans. No one, absolutely no one, imagined that a single one of these copper coins would one day become the centerpiece of elite auctions, stored in armored vaults, or chased by collectors worldwide. The Lincoln cent design itself was already legendary by 1975. It had been created in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, making it the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin's iconic portrait has become one of the most recognized American images ever struck into metal. For more than a century, it has symbolized honesty, liberty, and the strength of American identity. But what makes the 1975 D Liberty 1 cent so incredibly valuable today? It comes down to a rare combination of historical timing, strike quality, preservation, minting anomalies, and intense collector demand. The Denver Mint in the 1970s was known for speed, not perfection. Most coins show light weakness in the strike, minor die wear, and contact marks. However, a microscopic fraction of 1975 D cents were struck with unusually strong dies under ideal pressure, producing perfect details on Lincoln's hair, beard, and coat, features that almost never survive on regular circulation coins. A small number of these were preserved immediately after production, never touching another coin, never dropping into circulation, and never experiencing the scratches, dents, and wear that ruin most copper coins. These extremely pristine examples, graded at the highest levels by professional grading services, are the ones now selling for unbelievable prices. Add to that the rising interest in 1970s U.S. mint products and the limited population of surviving flawless examples, and you get one of the most aggressively searched for modern-era pennies. Collectors are also fascinated by the fact that 1975 is the final year before the U.S. Mint introduced the bicentennial designs for other denominations, marking it an important transitional year in American numismatic history. Furthermore, copper cents from before 1982 are increasingly desirable due to their higher metal content and the warm, rich tone that only real copper can produce. The coin's reddish luster, when preserved perfectly, almost seems to glow, and that visual beauty alone drives intense bidding competition in auctions worldwide. The market for high-grade 1975 D Liberty 1 cent coins has exploded, with some examples reaching record-shattering prices. Today, the top-quality specimen of this coin commands $779,356, making it one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever sold. Collectors with deep pockets hunt for this coin because it represents the perfect storm: historic year, iconic design, low surviving population, and powerful demand from both U.S. and global numismatists. Dealers report that even average condition 1975 D cents are becoming harder to find because collectors are hoarding rolls and bags in hopes of discovering one of these ultra-rare high-grade treasures. And when a flawless example hits the auction block, it becomes a battlefield, bidders from around the world fighting to secure a piece of U.S. coin history. Imagine holding a penny that has survived nearly 5 decades without a single scratch, fingerprint, or blemish. Imagine discovering a coin worth enough to change your life, found inside an old jar, inherited from a family member, or hiding inside a forgotten drawer. That is the dream that keeps collectors searching, digging, and examining every single 1975 Liberty 1 cent they come across. The thrill of the hunt is real, and the potential reward is massive. Even circulated versions can surprise you, especially if they show strong details, attractive luster, or unusual die characteristics. So the next time you come across old pennies, especially those from the copper-rich era before 1982, don't rush past them. Examine them carefully. Look for sharp details, vibrant luster, and that beautiful red tone that signals careful preservation. Because the 1975 Liberty 1 cent is not just a piece of metal, it is a window into American history, a symbol of mint craftsmanship, and a potential treasure worth $779,356 in today's booming numismatic market. Thank you for watching Rare US Coins 1. Today we are diving into one of the most exciting and misunderstood pennies ever struck, the Liberty 1 cent 1982 D, a coin that appears ordinary at first glance but holds a story so dramatic and a value so unbelievable that collectors chase it like a legendary artifact, and the market today has crowned its top value at an astonishing $779,355. A number that sounds unreal until you understand the chaotic year of 1982, a pivotal turning point in U.S. mint history when America decided to end the era of pure copper pennies and transition to a lighter zinc composition due to skyrocketing copper prices, and in the rush of this transition the Denver Mint produced multiple varieties, different weights, different metal contents, mixed dies in circulation, and created one of the most complex years in modern penny collecting, a year where mistakes, mismatches, and transitional errors slipped through the minting process and into circulation, leaving today's collectors on a never-ending hunt for the rarest combinations, especially the elusive 1982 D small-date copper that exploded in value because only a tiny handful are believed to exist, and every time one is authenticated the coin world shakes with excitement, prices climb, auction houses roar, and the spotlight turns once again to one of the most controversial cents ever produced, and when you hold a 1982 D penny in your hand you are holding a coin born from chaos. Produced during frantic machinery adjustments, shifts in alloy, weight experiments, and engraving refinements, making this single year more complicated than entire decades of U.S. cent production, and the beauty of it all is that anyone, anywhere, from any country, could check their pocket, their drawers, their jars, their old family coin boxes and suddenly discover a penny worth more money than an expensive car or even a house, which is why the 1982 D has become one of the most heavily searched and studied coins on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook coin groups, and collector forums worldwide, and what makes this even more electric is the current market surge where collectors are pushing values higher than ever before, especially for flawlessly preserved, high-grade examples and for the transitional errors that bridge the copper to zinc era, fueling bidding wars, encouraging new collectors to enter the hobby, and reinforcing the idea that the 1982 D penny is nowhere near reaching the peak of its value curve as experts forecast strong demand in upcoming auctions because people love a mystery coin, they love a coin with a backstory, and there is perhaps no modern coin with a more dramatic evolution than the 1982 D, a coin that teaches us that common change can transform into extraordinary wealth. A coin that symbolizes a moment in American economic history when inflation pushed the mint to completely redesign a coin Americans had used for generations, and today this little 1 cent piece continues to rewrite its legacy as collectors learn more, discover new varieties, submit fresh finds to grading services, create new price records, and keep the spirit of numismatics alive through passion, curiosity, and the thrill of treasure hunting. And if you want to know the simple truth, it is this: the Liberty 1 cent 1982 D is one of the greatest surprise value coins in the entire Lincoln cent family, and its journey is far from over as the market today confidently values its rarest form at an unbelievable $779,355 with upward momentum expected to continue as public interest grows, as new discoveries are made, and as collectors realize that this tiny brown coin from 1982 might just be one of the most exciting modern treasures still hiding in plain sight. So keep checking those pennies, keep stacking those jars, keep learning, keep searching, because the next life-changing coin might already be sitting in your hand. And here on Rare US Coins 1 we will keep uncovering the stories, the mistakes, the values, and the passion behind America's most fascinating coins so you never miss the chance to discover something truly rare and unbelievably valuable. The channel where hidden treasures come to life and everyday coins turn into extraordinary stories, and today we are diving into one of the most underrated, misunderstood, and surprisingly valuable pieces of American numismatic history, the Liberty 1 cent 1989 D, a coin that millions of people have held in their hands without ever knowing that some rare varieties are worth a small fortune. And today we are going to explore its origin, its secret minting history, the reasons why collectors are fascinated by this particular year and mint mark, and most importantly why certain top condition and rare error examples of the 1989 D penny can reach values around $779,354 in today's high-end numismatic market. The journey begins in 1989 at the Denver Mint, a year of massive penny production where over 4 billion Lincoln cents rolled off the presses, each one made of copper-plated zinc, a transition metal composition that started in 1982 and completely changed the way future pennies would age, tone, and react to the elements. Though they were created in large numbers, not all 1989 D pennies are equal, and this is where the story gets interesting, because among these billions exists a small fraction that emerged with unusual and extremely desirable attributes such as double die obverse strikes, misaligned dies, rim cuds, die polishing marks, OFF center strikes, and most importantly fully preserved gem standard strikes that escaped circulation and survived in almost perfect condition for decades. These ultra-high-grade coins, especially those graded MS 68 or higher by respected grading services, are virtually non-existent, and when one appears at auction the bidding war sets the room on fire, driving prices into the hundreds of thousands because serious collectors know how impossible it is to find modern pennies in perfect, flawless condition. The 1989 D also carries historical value because it represents the modernization of the U.S. Mint, new machinery, faster production speeds, and the era when copper was completely phased out, making perfect strikes extremely hard to achieve due to the soft zinc core which was more prone to scratches, chips, and minting defects. All of these factors combine to make the rarest 1989 D pennies not just common change but modern American treasures, and that is why today, in the evolving coin market of serious collectors and investors, a perfect or near-perfect example of the Liberty 1 cent 1989 D can command market values reaching up to an incredible $779,354. A number that seems impossible for a 1-cent piece but becomes completely real when you understand how scarcely these top-tier variants exist. The market for rare modern pennies is stronger than ever, driven by new generations of collectors who search their change, roll hunt, and submit millions of coins for grading in hopes of finding one of these extremely high-grade modern rarities, and every time one surfaces the price ceiling moves higher, driven by demand, scarcity, and numismatic history. So if you ever come across a Liberty 1 cent 1989 D in amazing condition, or even one with a strange mint error or strike variation, save it, protect it, get it graded, because you could be holding something far more valuable than a simple penny. You could be holding a small piece of history worth a life-changing amount of money. And that is why this coin continues to capture the imagination of both new and experienced collectors alike. And as always, this is Rare US Coins, bringing you the most exciting stories of American numismatics, where every coin has a story and some stories are worth a fortune. Today we are diving deep into one of the most surprising modern-era pennies that collectors are quietly chasing across the country, the Liberty 1 cent 2002 D penny from the Denver Mint, a coin that looks so ordinary in pocket change yet holds an extraordinary story of value, rarity, and the kind of unexpected worth that shocks even experienced collectors. The 2002 D penny, part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial Cent series, may not be considered ancient or old, but in the world of numismatics age is not always what creates value. Instead, it is the unique survival rate, minting quality, demand from collectors, and extremely rare errors that can transform a single copper-plated zinc cent from just 1 cent into a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what makes the 2002 D so remarkable is that while more than 4.4 billion were minted, only a microscopic percentage remain in pristine, gem-quality condition today, making them incredibly desirable. Handling these coins back in 2002 was easy because they were fresh, shiny, and widely circulated, but over the decades most have become damaged, scratched, worn down, or corroded due to the zinc core that easily reacts to moisture, meaning finding a flawless specimen today is like discovering a needle in a mountain of hay. This is why collectors seek out the 2002 penny in high mint state condition, and when one appears in near-perfect preservation, razor-sharp details on Lincoln's portrait, blazing original mint luster, untouched surfaces, and perfect strike, the market explodes, and auction houses have seen unbelievable prices for top-graded examples, reaching levels that surprise even professionals, pushing the current top market valuation to an astonishing $779,350 for the rarest high-end or era variety. Examples that combine both condition rarity and minting anomalies. Speaking of errors, the 2002 also has some of the most fascinating modern errors ever discovered, including off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, wrong planchet strikes, and coins with extreme plating blisters, each of which dramatically increases value depending on severity, clarity, and eye appeal. Imagine finding a double die showing distortion on Liberty or the date, or an off-center strike where a portion of the design is missing, or a 2002 struck on a foreign coin planchet. These rare mistakes can push prices into 5 and even 6 figures easily, especially when authenticated and graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, which is why collectors are searching through jars, rolls, and boxes of pennies hoping to find that one magical coin. But beyond rarity, the 2002 has historical significance as well, representing the early 2000s era of American coin production, a period marked by the continued usage of zinc-based pennies, the last years before the Lincoln bicentennial redesign, and the changing economy after the year 2000, giving the coin a place in modern American history. What adds even more excitement is the huge surge in collector interest today due to social media, rising numismatic channels, and increased awareness of valuable pennies hiding in everyday change, causing the 2002 to gain massive attention and market momentum. In recent years, top-tier coins have skyrocketed at auction, as collectors aggressively compete to secure the finest known examples, and with supplies of original mint rolls shrinking rapidly, prices are expected to continue climbing. So always keep your eyes open. That simple 2002 penny sitting quietly in your drawer or jar might not just be 1 cent, it could be a life-changing discovery worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially if it carries the right conditions or varieties. This is why collectors across America are revisiting their old change, studying errors, grading coins, and learning what makes a 2002 Liberty 1 cent so special. And that is what we do here on Rare US Coins 1, uncover hidden value, reveal history, and show you how even the smallest and most ordinary-looking coins can turn into extraordinary treasures. If you want more videos on rare pennies, quarters, nickels, and dollars worth shocking money, make sure to subscribe, stay tuned, and keep checking your change, because your next rare find could be waiting right in your pocket. The channel where every humble American coin is transformed into a story of rarity, value, history, and hidden treasure. And today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern Lincoln cents ever struck, the Liberty 1 cent 2008 coin, a Denver minted piece that may look ordinary at first glance but carries a story far richer than its copper-plated zinc composition suggests. A story shaped by changing metals, shifting demand, minting innovation, surprising errors, collector hype, and an exploding market where certain specimens have been known to reach an astonishing value of $779.353, turning this everyday penny into a must-search gem for collectors, hobbyists, treasure hunters, and anyone who has ever wondered if real money can still be found in pocket change. The 2008 Lincoln cent represents the final full year of the classic memorial reverse, the design that honored the Lincoln Memorial for half a century, introduced in 1959 and retired in 2008, and because of this the coin holds a sentimental place in the timeline of American currency, bridging the old and the new as the mint prepared for the big 2009 redesign celebrating Lincoln's bicentennial. Millions of collectors consider the 2008 a transition coin, a final chapter in a long-running design legacy, and this emotional connection alone has increased long-term demand. But history isn't the only reason people are hunting these coins. Condition has become everything in the modern coin market, and the 2008 D is notorious for showing weak strikes, plating bubbles, and surface issues due to the zinc core, which means that a flawless, sharply struck, brilliant red specimen is dramatically rarer than its mintage numbers suggest. While the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins, only a microscopic fraction exist in pristine condition, and when a coin is both common and unexpectedly difficult to find in perfect grade, it becomes a sleeper rarity, the kind of coin experts keep an eye on because it has the potential to skyrocket in value. High-grade examples certified by major grading companies have already been selling for strong premiums, and the market continues pushing values upward as collectors try to build top-ranking registry sets. But the real excitement comes from rare error varieties found on the 2008 D, including off-center strikes, die cracks forming dramatic raised lines on Lincoln's portrait, doubling on the date or lettering, or plating errors that reveal the zinc layer beneath the copper. Any of these errors can turn a 2008 D penny into hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on severity and eye appeal. And then, at the top of the market, we reach the truly impressive figure that collectors chase, the most elite pieces, the highest graded, the brightest survivors, the once-in-a-generation examples whose value has reached an unbelievable $779.353 in top condition, a number few would ever expect a modern 1-cent coin to achieve. The modern coin market has exploded due to online auctions, global bidding, investment-grade collecting, and renewed interest in transitional-era coins, and buyers from around the world compete fiercely to secure the best of the best. This has transformed the 2008 D from a simple penny into a modern collectible powerhouse. Many collectors search rolls, banks, change jars, and even retail coin lots hoping to find one of these standouts hiding in plain sight. And because so many 2008 D cents entered circulation during the recession years, they were heavily used, worn out, tossed around, and damaged, making high-grade survivors even more desirable and extremely difficult to locate today. The coin also represents a symbol of American history during a turbulent economic time, adding another layer of significance for collectors who enjoy building full historical narratives around their collections. When you hold a 2008 D Liberty 1 cent, you're not just holding a penny, you're holding the last heartbeat of a 50-year design era, the reflections of millions of hands during a defining moment in modern American economics, the craftsmanship of the Denver Mint, and the possibility of hidden fortune. The beauty of coin collecting is that extraordinary value can hide in the most unexpected places, and the 2008 D proves this again and again. So the next time you check your change or open a roll of pennies, look closely at the date, search for brilliance, inspect the strike, examine the surfaces, and keep your eyes sharp for errors because your next find could be the next high-dollar treasure. The Liberty 1 cent 2008 D is a modern marvel, a historic final-year design, a rising star in the collecting world, and a coin whose top-grade examples have reached the jaw-dropping peak of $779.353 in today's market. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting because the world of US coins still holds countless hidden gems waiting for someone like you to discover. And as always, this is Rare US Coins 1, bringing you the most exciting stories, the most valuable coins, and the most fascinating history in American numismatics.